it's fucking gorgeous. After like 4 or 5 years and 22 days of playtime, I have done it. Level 1000 in Black Ops 3 Zombies. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, it's weird to think about how long I've been trying to do this. I just recently learned that Black Ops 3 came out almost 6 years ago, which is fucking crazy. But what's even crazier is that almost 6 years later, it's just about as fun as it was when it first came out. I'm not completely sure if I've explicitly said this on my YouTube channel, but it's pretty heavily implied. But I think that Black Ops 3, without a doubt, is the best Call of Duty game. And that's probably because I really only play zombies, and this game has the best zombies. But I really don't think that that's like the only factor. Like, I don't play multiplayer a ton because I baby rage, but I feel like I enjoy multiplayer in this game way more than I do in any other Call of Duty game. So I honestly feel like this game is just the best across the board. And I know that's an unpopular opinion, but hey, I don't care. However, I am getting ahead of myself. There is something else that I wanted to spend some time on in this video, and that is my stats. I'm not going to spend too long on this because I know for a fact you guys do not care, but I do, so I'm doing it. So here they are. Alright, so I've gotten over 900,000 kills and I've survived over 8,000 rounds. Also, as I said earlier, I have over 22 days of playtime, so please, just like someone help, please. Alright, so turns out I'm actually a fucking dumbass. I recorded this audio before actually looking at my stats. In hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have done that, but you know, it's 20 days, not 22. That's my bad. Let's move on. I'm not gonna go over the rest of the stuff on this screen because it literally means nothing. You're trying to tell me that my score per minute is 60? You're out of your goddamn mind. I've gotten to around 100 on 4 maps: Revelations, The Giant, Ascension, and DE. And I actually made it to around 128 on Revelations when I was like, sort of in like the final stretch towards like level 1000, and I was like really trying to go for it. I think I leveled up like 50 times during that game, but I closed out. So my bad, but I didn't want to mess up the screen, dude. I wanted to say 100, dude. I wanted to look neat and organized as well. But anyway, I definitely plan to add to this list of maps that I've made it to around 100 to, probably on stream. Hey, go follow me on Twitch. Link is in the description. That was a really, really awesome and smooth like transition. That was really cool. I'm really proud of myself. That was awesome. That? I like the Giant. I feel like there's nothing super noteworthy about my gobblegums. Obviously, I've used a bunch of alchemicals for ammo, and I've used a bunch of in plain sight and anywhere but here, because I don't know how to play the game. So that's the Cliff Notes version of my stats. Obviously, I didn't go into everything because, again, you guys don't care, and it also doesn't matter. I'm not going to show you guys how many kills I have with the XM53. Showing you guys my stats was really, like, just for me, because I really don't know why, but I just love looking at my stats in this game. Like, it's the weirdest thing, because I don't have, like, a super crazy account or anything like that. Like, yeah, I've played the game more than the average person, but there's nothing, like, super groundbreaking to see. But I don't know. I just like looking at it. But I actually have something to tell you guys, which I think is hilarious. I don't think I started playing zombies in this game until, like, 6 months after the game came out. What was I doing before that, you may ask? Well, for the first 6 months of me playing this game, the only thing I did was play free run. And I'm not gonna lie, I was nasty at it. But I honestly cannot fathom why I didn't do anything else in this game. I think the main reason I didn't get into zombies as soon as the game came out was because I saw like gameplay of Shadows of Evil, and it just looked super overwhelming, so I was just like, I'm not even gonna bother. Looking back, dumbest thing ever, because Shadows is an absolute banger. But yeah, that's just something where, like, looking back, I'm just like, bro, why did I do that? But obviously just saying, like, hey, I hit level 1000, here are my stats. Just saying that's not really enough to make a full YouTube video. So I just kind of wanted to reflect on this game for a bit. And talk about some of the things that I think make this game an absolute slapper. Now, you might be thinking, like, yo, what's the point in you making this video? Like, we know the game's good. Like, we played the game. Like I don't need you to say, hey, Shut up. Anyway, obviously I'm going to be mainly talking about zombies because that's mostly what I play. But I do have some things to say that aren't zombies, so I'll just get those out of the way first. So just to start off, this game's movement is fucking incredible, and anyone who disagrees is wrong. I know people are like, exosuits, advanced movement, shut the fuck up, you're wrong. Listen, this game's movement is so much better than any other Call of Duty game, because obviously it's just fun to fly around the map and move mad fast, that goes without saying. But this game's movement system can also give you a huge advantage if you're good at it. Like, there are a lot of like little tricks and things you can learn, like alternate routes on some maps, that just give you an advantage over other players. And, I mean, the reason I would play free run so much is because the movement in this game is just sick. Moving on. The next thing isn't really unique to Black Ops 3, but, I mean, it still applies. In games, and usually with most things that I do, actually, I typically like to have goals that I can work towards and, like, things to accomplish. Some might even say I'm kind of a completionist. And this game definitely provides that. In zombies, in multiplayer, even the campaign, there are challenges to complete, calling cards and emblems to unlock, camos and reticles. Like, there's just a lot to do. And I like that. Alright, so moving on, now I'm going to talk about each game mode in this game. I'm going to try to make it quick and not spend 14 years on each game mode. No promises. And also barring zombies, because obviously I'll be spending the most time on that. So first, the campaign. I know nothing about the story in this game, and I don't think Treyarch does either. Listen, all I'm saying is there's a reason Black Ops 4 does not have a campaign. But I have played through the campaign in this game. I didn't pay attention to the story at all, but I heard it was garbage. And I'm also not gonna lie. I barely remember playing the campaign, but I just remember, like, the fact that I did. You know what I mean? But from what I can remember, if we're talking strictly about gameplay, the campaign in this game is pretty enjoyable. I didn't think the gameplay was super boring or anything like that. I actually really like the safe house feature in the campaign, where you just kind of have an area where you can vibe between missions. There's also something you can do in the safe house called a combat immersion, where you basically just survive waves of enemies, and I mean, that's pretty fun. But yeah, as I said, the story in this campaign really isn't great, but the campaign isn't boring to play, which I think should be a priority in a video game. Because if the story is really good, but the gameplay is trash, I'm not playing the game. Moving on. As I said, I don't really play multiplayer too much in this game, or any Call of Duty game really, but I do think the multiplayer experience in this game is more enjoyable than other Call of Duty games. And honestly, that's probably because of the movement system. Because, like, if I'm in a game and my team is getting absolutely bodied, I can still run on walls. So I've definitely had more fun in multiplayer in this game than I have in other Call of Duty games. Nightmares. Nightmares was an interesting concept with a very, very poor and lazy execution. To prove this point, here is a screenshot of a mystery box. One of the most iconic pieces of zombies imagery facing the wrong fucking way. And it still functions just fine. You can spin it, take the weapon, like all of that is fine. It works as a normal mystery box. But the fact that it's facing the fucking wall is extremely noticeable. And I understand that it's kind of like, it's a very nitpicky thing, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter, but like, no one caught this? Was one developer assigned to this game mode and just did all of it like an hour before it had to be ready? I just don't get it. But to make this as simple as possible, this game mode just isn't good. Like, there's no reason to play Nightmares because every other game mode in this game exists. This is the only game mode in Black Ops 3 that I can say with complete confidence is garbage. There's nothing to gain from playing Nightmares. It's literally just the campaign, but most, not all, most of the enemies are replaced with zombies. But there is still a good amount of enemies who are just like normal enemies, which means you can still get fucking shot at. So just play the regular campaign! So Nightmares actually has no reason to exist. But I think I've ranted about Nightmares enough. It's just not good. But every other game mode in this game is flames. Oh, segue! Free run. Obviously, I think free run is sick. It's the only thing I played for like 6 months, and it's great. I like the movement in this game, and that is all free run is. The only sort of problem that I have with free run, if you can even call it a problem, is I just wish that Treyarch did more with this game mode. Because we got the 4 base maps, and that's it. And I get it, like, it's just supposed to be a game mode for you to, like, get a feel for the movement in the game and improve at it. But I still think it would have been cool if free run was, like, way bigger than it is. Like, if every DLC we got the 4 multiplayer maps, the 1 zombies map, and like a free run map as well, that would be sick. Or what would honestly be even better is if we could make custom free run maps, because it's like the perfect game mode to do that. You design an obstacle course, essentially, and I think letting us create custom maps would have added a lot more longevity to the game mode. And something else that I just like thought of off the top of my head when I was writing this video, we should have been able to play free run with multiple people and like try to race each other in real time. Maybe you could try to like sabotage each other. That'd be funny. I don't know. I just wish there was more to do in this game mode, but obviously it had enough content to entertain me for half a year, so really not too many complaints. Obviously, I still think free run is awesome. I obviously don't dislike free run in any way. But just objectively speaking, Treyarch could have done more with this game mode. But hey, it's very enjoyable nonetheless. Dead Ops Arcade 2. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge Dead Ops guy. I don't dislike the game mode, but I just don't play it a ton. I feel like when I do play it, it's usually with friends, and it's usually a pretty good time. Like, as I said, there's really no complaints. It's obviously a pretty simple game mode, just because it's supposed to be sort of like an arcade game. So it's fun if you just have like a friend or two and you just want to hop into a game for a bit and just like mess around. It's a good time. Something that I actually really like in Dead Ops in this game is the first person like power-up thing that you can pick up. Honestly, it makes the game so much harder, but it's so much fun. But I don't really have anything else to say about Dead Ops in this game, so let's move on to the main event, even though I've spent way longer talking about these game modes than I wanted to. So, believe it or not, I actually really like zombies in this game. I haven't really talked about it much, but it's the truth. I enjoy it. And one thing that I'm struggling with is trying to give this part of the video some sort of structure. So what I think I'm going to do is, just like before, talk about some general things that apply to pretty much every zombies map, and then I'm going to talk about each map like individually. So there are 2 big general things that I want to talk about, and those are gobblegums and alternate ammo types. I'll start with gobblegums. I really like gobblegums. I think they were a good addition. Gobblegums were meant to sort of just give a little boost to the player throughout the game, and so, you know, I mean, anything that makes the game easier, I'm a fan of. So, like, alchemical is good if you haven't gotten a max ammo in a while, or maybe you're, like, going for a high round and, you know, ammo's kind of becoming a struggle. In plain sight and anywhere but here, both just sort of offer, like, a panic button to help you get out of a sticky situation. The rest of them exist, too. So they were initially meant to just give you a little bit of help. However, I think you would all agree when I say that gobblegums maybe got a little bit out of control. Because, again, I'm a big fan of anything that makes the game easier, okay? But even then, I know, like, Perkaholic and Shopping Free have no reason to exist. And they're fun, don't get me wrong. They're a good time, and they're very helpful, and I'm not mad. But, like, maybe a little bit too helpful. Also, there's obviously the fact that you can't just buy the gobblegums you want. You have to essentially just leave it up to chance and hope you get the ones you want, which, that's kind of a problem with multiplayer. It's not kind of a problem, it is a problem. That's a problem with multiplayer in this game as well. You can't just buy the stuff you want, you have to leave it up to chance. And that was something that like plagued Call of Duty games for a bit. I don't think it's as much of an issue anymore, but I don't really keep up with it, so I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty annoying how you essentially just have to gamble and hope you get the gobblegums you want. But Treyarch they didn't really fix the problem, but they did something to help with it. Newton's Cookbook, which I think was a good addition, because there are a lot of useless gobblegums that, you know, you can like actually turn into something cool. But even then, I feel like it's not really that useful super often, but I still think it was a good idea. But overall, I definitely think gobblegums were a nice addition, and they added like another element of fun to the game, especially like whimsicals that are actually useless, but they're just funny. So yeah, I like gobblegums a lot. Alternate ammo types, I think, were also a very nice addition to the game, because in previous zombies games, yeah, you could pack-a-punch your weapon and make it more useful until like the 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s. But after that, your weapon just kind of becomes useless. And then you pretty much have to rely on the wonder weapon, whatever it may be, and traps. Which is, I mean, like, it's fine. But it's not super practical if you haven't gotten a max ammo in a while. And now, like, you know, you're running low on ammo. And now you have to pretty much rely solely on the traps. Like, it just wasn't really that practical. Alternate ammo types just completely get rid of that entire issue. Because you can effectively turn any wonder weapon besides, like, launchers and melee weapons into a wonder weapon. And some people are like, it's overpowered, makes the game too easy. Yo, shut up, bro, you don't matter. But AATs are really useful if, like, for whatever reason you can't get the wonder weapon on a map. I don't know why that would be, but yeah. And in some high round strategies, they're actually more useful than wonder weapons. Like, running Mule Kick with 3 AATs, as in dead wire, turned, and fireworks, is ridiculous. But alternate ammo types were definitely a very good addition to the game, and I like how they stuck around and sort of like became the standard after Black Ops 3, because Gobblegums just kind of disappeared. Alright, now, let's talk about each of the maps, obviously starting with Shadows of Evil. Shadows of Evil, as I said, was overwhelming when I first started playing it, but then I just learned how to unlock the Pack-a-Punch, and then I was chillin'. I think the best thing about this map is the atmosphere, that 1940s Chicago type beat. Also, the music on this map, the jazz, is fucking awesome. The perk jingles on this map are not the normal perk jingles. They are unique to this map, and they all slap. Speaking of perks, this map introduced Widow's Wine, which can be incredibly useful when it comes to not dying. I don't think I've said this on my YouTube channel, but I'm actually not a huge fan of Widow's Wine, just because it can mess up your train sometimes, which, I mean, it's kind of annoying, but even though I'm not a huge fan of it, I can't deny how useful it can be. The boss zombie on this map is the Margwa, which is honestly a really good boss zombie, because it's really not that difficult to kill, but I still panic just a little bit when I see it spawn in. This map also has the Apothicon Servant and the Apothicon Sword, which are both obviously extremely useful. The Apothicon Servant is like one of the most effective wonder weapons, period. And the last thing that I wanted to say about this map is that I think the layout of this map is perfect. There's like a central area that connects to 3 separate areas, but from each of the separate areas you can still get to the others through like the train thing. And all of the districts are the same but different. They all sort of follow the same general formula, but they're obviously all not the exact same. Shadows is a banger. By the way, the only Easter egg that I've completed in this game is the Giant. So I'm just not really going to be talking about Easter eggs in this video because I don't know. But The Giant. The Giant is a fantastic remake of a classic map. And I think it was a good idea to have this map release alongside Shadows of Evil, because Shadows is a more sort of complex zombies map. Like, if you're playing Shadows, you're like really in it, you know? But The Giant is a much more casual experience. It's way better for those times when you just want to hop into a game and kill zombies. Also, the extra perk Easter egg on this map to get stamina up or deadshot, very nice addition. The Giant is a banger. DE. You might be wondering why I'm just abbreviating the name and not actually saying it. Well, it's because pronouncing the name of this map is exhausting. Here's my best attempt. Der Eisendrache. Feel free to make fun of me in the comments. But anyway, this map is literally the best map in all of Call of Duty Zombies. I could probably talk about this map for about 2.5 hours, but let me try to make it quick. First of all, just the setting of this map is awesome. A castle in the Austrian Alps? That's fucking sick. Also, the rockets are pretty cool as well. We got dragons around the map, which is fitting because of the name of the map. If you don't know what the name of the map translates to in English, you're a fake fan. It goes without saying that the bows are obviously sick. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the fact that you do not have to hit the box once while playing this map. The Ragnaroks are my favorite specialist ability in the game, and they are stupid powerful. The Panzer is a very good boss zombie. He becomes very difficult to kill in the later rounds, but you can still pull it off, and it's very satisfying when you do. This map did Pack-a-Punch correctly. Listen, I love Shadows of Evil, but I don't think that map did Pack-a-Punch correctly. I think unlocking Pack-a-Punch on Shadows is too complex, but unlocking Pack-a-Punch on DE is holding square on 3 piles of rubble. I could continue to go on, but I gotta cut myself off at some point, so I'm doing that now. Just know that DE is the best Call of Duty Zombies map, and that is not up for debate. DE is an absolute banger. Zetsubo no Shima. I never got this map, so here's some Shinonuma gameplay. So since I haven't gotten the map, and I've actually never even played it, honestly, I don't really have too much to say about it. But what I will say is that this map was not received very well when it was first released. Like, people were like, yo, this map's fucking not fun, it's way too difficult, it's just bad. But what I think is important to realize is that there is a difference between a bad zombies map and a bad zombies map in Black Ops 3. Because Zetsubo still compares very well against other zombies maps. And that's all I had to say. Zetsubo is fucking something, bro. I don't know. I haven't played it. Boys, I'm not gonna lie. I just took a break to go eat lunch because I was about to cry. That doesn't matter at all, but I told you regardless. Let's get back to what we were talking about. I'll admit, I have a bit of an unpopular opinion. Excluding Chronicles, of the maps that I have played in this game, Gorod Krovi is probably my least favorite. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I dislike it. Because while it is my least favorite map, it's still incredible. The Raygun Mark III is cool, even if it does kind of become ineffective around like the 70s, I think. The Dragon Strike is sick. The Gauntlet of Siegfried is sick. Also, the Pack-a-Punch camo on this map brings me a tremendous amount of joy. The Mangler, I would say, is a pretty good boss zombie. I think he's easier to kill than the Margwa, but I'm not completely sure. But he's definitely easier to kill than the Panzer. But he still kind of like makes you panic, just a bit, you know? Also, I mean, we got dragons flying around, and dragons are kind of cool. All things considered, I would say Gorod Krovi is kind of a banger. I think Revelations kind of gets a bad rap. People were not very happy with this map, because, I mean, the map just sort of recycles things from previous maps, but I'm here to defend Revelations, because there was so much hype surrounding this map that there is no way it could have lived up to the hype. And are we gonna sit here and act like a map made up of fragments of other maps isn't fucking cool? If you genuinely think that, you're an idiot. Like, dude, using the first zombies map ever as like a hub to get to the other maps, it's just cool. Is the map perfect? No, but I definitely think it's far from the worst. A lot of people say that this map is way too easy, and I mean, they're right, dude. Like, I don't know what to say to that. Like, you got the Thundergun, Apothicon Servant, Ragnaroks, and Lil Arnie's, all from the box. Yeah, the map's pretty easy. But hey, as I said before, anything that makes the game easier, I'm not opposed. Oh, transition to the next thing. This map is very visually noisy, which can be kind of overwhelming at times, but overall, I think this map looks incredible, especially the skybox. You got that blue like sun looking thing, you just like see it and then you're like, yo dude, that looks sick. There's also just a lot of stuff to do on this map. Like, you can get the masks, the Keeper Protector, the free perk, you can upgrade the Apothicon Servant and Lil Arnie's. Like, there are a bunch of side Easter eggs and things you can do on this map. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this map other than I just think people dislike it way more than it deserves, because it's definitely not a bad map. In fact, Revelations is a banger. Now, for Zombies Chronicles, I'm not going to talk about each individual map, I'm just going to talk about it as a whole. I think that even though Zombies Chronicles came out over 4 years ago, and it's like old news, right? Like, yeah, we know that happened, that was cool. Even though it came out over 4 years ago, I still feel like we as a community do not appreciate Zombies Chronicles enough. Because Zombies Chronicles is insane if you really think about it. We got 8 maps, 8 zombies maps, which I think is important to note, because a zombies map, Like, it's so much more than a multiplayer map. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you do, so I'm not going to explain further. But we got 8 remakes in one DLC well after this game's life cycle ended. This DLC came out in May of 2017, 6 months after Infinite Warfare came out. And just the scale of this DLC is what blows my mind, because, like, dude, 8 remakes, and they're not like low effort remakes either. Like, upgraded graphics, they changed the colors on some maps to make them like less gray. Like, some of the maps look very, very different from the originals. Also, on certain maps like Nacht and Verrucht, they added things like the Wonder Fizz to make the maps a little bit more current, because, like, especially with Nacht, having a map with no perks in Black Ops 3 Zombies just doesn't really work. And it's just nice to return to some of these older maps with these new things added, like being able to use like Widow's Wine or Gobblegums on these older maps it's just cool. Seeing these old maps like World at War maps or Black Ops 1 maps being sort of brought up to date, like to the way Zombies currently is, or was, I guess, it's just awesome to see. So it goes without saying that Zombies Chronicles is 100%, without a doubt, an absolute banger. So, that was my documentary, apparently, on mostly zombies, but kind of just Black Ops 3 as a whole. Yeah, I mean, this game is sick. I like it a lot. It might be, like, my most played game, like, ever. I'm not completely sure, but if it's somehow not number 1, then it's definitely up there. I don't think I can really think of any other, like, games, at least off the top of my head, that I've played, like, anywhere near as much as I've played Black Ops 3. So yeah, I mean, thank you guys for listening to me talk about this game for like 39 days. If you made it to this point in the video, you're alright. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If you did not, make sure to leave a dislike. All feedback is appreciated, but positive feedback is appreciated more. I'm incredibly fragile. Please do not hurt my feelings. Anyway, goodbye.